What's going on? Welcome back to Reckless Banter. As you can see, I am by myself right now, and that's okay. We decided to take a little bit of a break. We were all a little burnt out. We were having trouble, coming up with topics and stuff, and also we work full-time jobs and this and that, and here we are now. Michelle and Jeff decided they wanted to step away from the podcast, which was totally cool. There's no hard feelings between any of us. We're all still good friends, and they were awesome on the show. I loved having them, but now it's just me. Up until after this current episode that you're about to watch, my friend Amanda in Georgia, I've known her for years now. Amanda was on that stupid dating show a while back, if you ever watched that. And so I did an episode with her because I figured I was going to start just interviewing anybody and everybody, and now she's a co-host. She's remote, so it makes things a little different. If I do have any guests come in, I'll probably just do the interviews myself, in which I do have a couple coming up. I think that are going to be some good episodes. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into this episode with Amanda, where we talk about wax. So you used to be what's
it's an esthetician.
Esthetician?
Mm-hmm.
So it's an esthetician?
Yes, and that basically covers like skin-related services, like makeup, waxings, facials, excuse me, nails, manicures, pedicures. All of those things are all, because it's in most states, the hairdressing license and the aesthetic license is separate. You can get both, but they are two completely separate entities. You do need to have both if you're if you're providing, like skin related services.
Yeah.
I didn't want to touch anybody's hair because people are really like extra picky about their hair, and I just didn't want to deal with that.
Well, I was going to say, like, I wouldn't want to touch their hair because hair just seems kind of gross to touch somebody else's hair.
I didn't realize that hair splinters were a thing until I started working at the salon, right? And I would see them, and they would just be like, little hairs would just be embedded in all the hairdressers' like skin, under their nails, and it felt like splinters. And I was like, oh, why would you want to do that?
How did you ever get hair splinters?
No.
Okay. That's wild.
But I didn't even know that was a thing. But it's funny because like when I started working there, it was the summer between my junior and senior year in high school, and it was my first job.
Mm.
Right. And so the owners of this salon were longtime family friends. And my mom had mentioned to one of the owners that I needed a job. And he was like, oh, well, she can come work for me. Right. So it was just supposed to be a job to get me through like senior year. Right. And then go off to college. And I just stayed because I made really good money. And I was like, why go to school to pay a lot of money to maybe make a lot of money when I'm already making a lot of money? So
this is how you got into...
Yes. Yeah, that's how I started.
You needed a job.
I just needed a job.
And it like, so good money, like how do you get paid? Like by the hour or?
Yeah, so this particular salon, I won't say the name because it's very popular, but it is it's a top salon. It's the top salon in the state, but it's a top salon in the country. And they have their own internal education programs. They have all of those things. So we got paid hourly. And then on top of that, we got tips as well.
Okay.
So between
makes sense.
The tips plus the hourly, right? And our hourly, like unlike waitresses or waiters, like I started in 2002 making $7.50 an hour plus tips.
Remember those days?
Yeah. So as like a 17 going on 18-year-old girl, bringing home, $1,000 a week, if all
Yeah.
the, yeah, I wasn't smart with my money. I should have invested, but I did not, unfortunately. But yeah, so I started in the education system there when I graduated high school. Started off with doing nails, then moved into facials and waxings and all that kind of stuff.
So you went to their like school, or you just
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, at the building. And I ended up later in my career there, I also ended up being one of the lead educators because I was voted least painful waxer there for like 4 years in a row.
No way.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know what I do differently, right?
Yeah,
like I don't know what I'm doing to make it less
rip it out and you rip it out.
Yeah, like my manager, I asked her that one time and I was like, how do you like am I doing something on purpose? And she said, it's probably like your natural like motion.
Yeah, I see.
Right? Like I'm not ripping, like I don't naturally want to rip up. I want to rip right straight.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I wonder if that was because of me playing, the cello and the viola. Like it's easy for me to just be like
natural hand motion.
Yeah. And just keep it straight. And plus I did competitive cheerleading when I was younger as well. So it's like, I'm just used to that motion with my arm.
Yeah.
So it was just something I didn't even think about, but I was like, because she said that does also like affect it. Right? Like if you go to rip and you're even up a little bit, it's pulling the skin up when you're taking the hair out.
It's all about the angle.
It is. You got to hold that tension and rip straight. So, but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed waxing. Actually, that was one of my favorite things to do, honestly, because it was very mindless.
So, go ahead. Sorry. Very mindless.
It's just very mindless, and it's like you see hair, you get rid of hair, you move on, right? You don't have to worry about what the customer wants or what colors they like or do another smoky eye prom makeup for the 35th time that day. So you want to go hang yourself in the back room.
Yeah.
It was just nice.
Shit, what was I going to ask? So when you first got into the waxing section of your job, did you do it side by side with somebody for a while until they let you go off on your own, or did the schooling like get you to a point where it's like, all right, here's your first customer?
Well, so the way the education I basically had my assistant manager, and I would recruit models, friends or people that I knew or whoever to come in, and we did the services for free because we were practicing on them. Okay. So when we first started, she would do like one side, right? And then I would do the other. So like when I was learning to do eyebrow waxings, right? Like she would show me how to do it on one and I would have to mimic on the other side.
How many women have gone home with one side of their vagina red and sore looking and the other side just looking nice and pristine?
When you get home after that experience, you don't really give a fuck what your vagina looks like.
I guess you're right. I just had the image in my mind, like just picturing like a sunburnt side and a regular side.
Red and this because of the difference. But yeah, no, at that point you don't really care, right? So once I was released, right, when I like ended my training and I was able to start taking on customers, they the owners had decided to add, because at that time we didn't do Brazilian waxes.
Oh.
We did bikini waxes, legs, arms, underarms, chest. We did everything but Brazilian waxes. And they were starting to become very popular outside of strippers. Right. And
so a Brazilian is like everything.
Everything.
Okay.
Everything. Lips, top, sides, underneath, butt, all of it. right?
Hole and all.
So then we all at the same time learned how to do the Brazilian, right? And so my manager, who I absolutely love and respect, and she taught me so much, and I am so grateful for her because God, I was such a piece of shit. But I was a spoiled brat, upper middle class girl with my first job, right? Like I didn't know anything about anything. So she really helped like mold me into like a professional like person and
Yeah.
taught me so much. But my manager did not want to offer the Brazilian waxing to men. She only wanted to keep it female because we were the whole team in the spa, we were all females, right? And we had already had issues with males during facials, you know, massages, things like that, and she didn't want us to be put in a uncomfortable situation, right? Because we're in a room alone with a man, you know, and so she just wanted females only. And the owners said, no, we're not going to do that. Like if they want a Brazilian man or woman, we're going to offer it to everybody, right? Like it's just easier for the girls up at the front making the appointments and, you know, all this stuff. And we're not going to, you know, alienate, you know, anybody from any service that we offer. So he won, obviously, because they were the owners. So we ended up offering it to both genders.
So, and hold on one second. What year?
Okay.
Around what year was this?
This was 2003, 2000, going into 2004.
Okay. So
yeah. So early 2000s, right? So I'm 18, not quite 19. I was I don't know if I still am, but when I left the salon, I was still only the second youngest person they ever hired. Me and the girl that had been there the longest. We were the only two people they ever hired that was under the age of 18 when we started working.
Wow.
Right. So what frustrated me about that is that everybody in the salon, it's a big salon. There was when I first started working there, not including the upstairs staff, like the accounting people and stuff on the floor, there was 97 employees.
Jeez. That must have been a big place.
It's huge. It's absolutely huge, right? And they divided it into the 3 sections, right? So you had hairdressing that just cut hair. Then you had the technical department that did all the hair coloring, the perm, the chemical stuff, and then you had the spa, right? So when I first started working there, everybody knew that I was like who I was and that I was the youngest. So everybody called me the baby. That was just what everybody called me. They're like, "Oh, hey, the baby, come here. Hey, you're the baby, come here." You know, like it was. And now looking back, it kind of makes me smile. But at the time, right, I'm like, fuck all you guys. Like, I'm going to be 18, you know, like you're thinking you're all grown right back then. So I'm the baby. So everybody was super protective and everybody was watching out for me. So when they opened up our books for Brazilian, I instantly get the first Brazilian and it's a male. And so when my manager,
the first Brazilian
that
walks in the door,
the first Brazilian is a man, and I'm the one that got him. Okay.
Wow.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, like I would rather do a Brazilian on a man anyway because it's way fucking easier. Okay, right? There's not as many crevices and you know stuff like that. So
I could understand. Yeah.
I would much rather do a dude anyway, right? So my manager saw that and she was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm going to have them change it to somebody else. Like you are absolutely not. Right. And
why?
I was like, no, because she was protective of me. Right. And I'm the baby. And she already didn't want us to have, you know, male clients and stuff. But I'm like, no, it's fine. Like I've got this. It's fine. And she's like, no, she's like, I'm going to go talk to him. And I was like, just let me do it. Like, it's fine. And I said, and I promise you, if I feel uncomfortable at any point, I will excuse myself and I will come grab you. And she was like, if he breathes at you, if he does anything, if his eye twitches and you think it's a wink and you're not sure, leave immediately. And I was like, I promise, right? So she let me do it as long as I promised. If anything was kind of weird, I would get the hell out of there, right?
Mhm.
So now I'm all nervous because she got me all worked up, right? Because before I was like, oh, yeah, I know I'm fine. But I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. So now I'm like, I'm on edge and everything. And, I knock on the door and I was like, okay. I was like, are you ready? And he was like, yeah, come on in. And I walked in and he looked at me and he's like, oh my God, you're adorable. And I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. you you don't give a shit about no, this is great. And I was like, oh, hold on, I
Was he
forgot
gay?
Yes.
Okay, all right, yeah.
So gay. And I was like, I was like trying not to laugh so hard because I didn't want him to think I was laughing at him.
Yeah.
Right. I was just laughing from relief. Right. So I was just like, I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I was like, hold on. I need my other set of tweezers. I'll be right back. And he's like, oh yeah, no problem. Right. Like, so I leave and Leslie's in the, like my manager's in the hall and she was like, what's wrong? What happened? And I was like, it's fine. He's gay. And she's like, she looked at me as she was gay herself, but she looked at me and she goes, oh, okay, then you're fine. Thank God. Okay. Jeez. Oh my God. And
I
was
love
like,
that
so you can breathe.
I love that the first Brazilian that walks in the door is a guy.
Is a
and
guy.
Not only is he a guy, he's gay. Like,
yes,
the gay guy was ready for this to happen.
He was like, baby, let's go. Right. And I loved him. I loved him so much. He continued to be my client. I waxed him once a month. For the remainder of the years that I was at the salon.
Wild.
He was actually a stripper at the gay club in Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
At Swingin' Richards, right? And so there was one time I had just turned 21, right? And he had come in for one of his appointments or whatever. And he was talking to me and he was like, baby girl, you had a birthday. And I was like, yeah, like I turned 21 a couple months ago. And he was like, you should have fucking told me. You want to come to the club? And I was like, internally, I was like, absolutely not. No, not really. But I was like, sure, right? I mean, he's a good client, whatever. So I was like, but girls can't get in there, right? Because the rule at Swingin' Richards is that females can come in, but you have to have one man per female to enter the club. And that's how they like make sure like bachelorette parties and birthday parties don't like flood in, right, the club. And so I was like, but just females can't get in. And he's like, no, I got you. And I was like, okay. So me and my friend June, we went to Swingin' Richards.
Hell yeah.
He got us in. We got into the VIP. Within 5 minutes, we left. We were giggling way too much. We were giggling. It was just too funny. Like, we just couldn't take them seriously.
Were they?
As soon as they did the helicopter, we were out of there. We were like, we can't.
Were they fully naked?
Yes. I'm like, no, we can't. Like, nope. No. Absolutely not.
Well, damn.
So we actually ended up going to our regular strip club, the Pink Pony, the OG, not of the South. Okay, but the Pony, because
they were in there just nice. Fucking helicopter
and they don't swing their shit around. Like we just couldn't take it seriously.
Oh my God. Were they doing the thing where they like swing it between their thighs like the ball slap?
They were doing like that, yeah, and then they were doing the hip motion, so it was like flying in front of them, right? Yeah. And then like flipping around and doing like the butt clench, the butt cheek clench and stuff, like real deep. And I'm like,
wow.
I can't. We got to go. I'm going to laugh the whole time. I can't. This is not sexy to me. I'm sorry. You guys look great. You're doing awesome. Love it. Mean it, but it's just not for me.
That is
not for me.
I never, I've like there's an all nude strip club in Myrtle Beach called Derrieres. I think it's still there, but
oh, I love that.
I never thought of an all nude male strip club and helicopters and ball slaps
Swinging
and yeah,
and
like
things and the
I just
thrusting,
never
and it's just
I
no.
never thought about that. And it's just
No.
so funny to hear about. Like I can completely understand why you couldn't keep your composure and you had to go somewhere else.
Yes, yes, like, absolutely, like, no disrespect to the guys.
Yeah, I mean,
They
they were doing their
fabulous
thing. They were
and gorgeous, and I loved the baby oil was that chef's kitsch touch, right? I just could like, to me, it just seemed more silly,
yeah.
right? And we, when we were younger, we actually every time we'd have a girls' night out, we'd always go to the strip club. We'd only go to the strip club because it was like honestly, it was the best place for a group of females to go,
Mhm.
right? Because there's security, they're not there to see you, right?
Yeah.
The girls are super sweet and nice, and they love
Makes
uh
sense.
female tables, right? You could get the people to walk, we could get the guys to walk us to our cars, things like that. So it was like a very stress-free, enjoyable evening,
Yeah, it totally makes
right?
sense.
So, yeah, so we went to the clubs all the time, but and I'm down for the girls, but I couldn't take the boys seriously. I couldn't. It just like
So,
took me back to like when my little brother and his friends were being stupid and be like, "Oh, look at my like that's
yeah.
all I could think of is like, "Oh my god, like look what I can do." It's like I just can't. I just can't.
So you're regular, you're the first guy.
Mhm.
Was he on stage before you left within that 5 minutes?
He was finishing when we came
Oh,
in.
when you
So
got
I
there.
he was finishing up on stage when we were getting situated in the VIP area, and he came around to, like, give me a quick peck on the cheek, say that anything we want, just get it, whatever, and he was so sweet. So I had texted him after we left because I didn't know, like, what where he was at in the rotation,
Uh-huh.
right? So I was like, "I am so sorry. We had to go, boo, like, we could not." And and he said the next time I saw him at his next appointment, I was, like, apologizing because I didn't want him to think that I hated it or I
Yeah.
wasn't, like, thankful, right? And so I was telling him, like, how I felt and, like, that I was just kept giggling the whole time, and he just started laughing, and he's like, "Oh, you poor straight little girl." And I was just like, "I know!" Right? It's like, what would they say now? Like, "Tell me you're straight without telling me you're straight."
Yeah.
Like, it was like one of those moments like, "Oh, you poor little sweet straight girl."
That
And
is
I'm like,
so
"I
funny.
know." But no, I mean, it was interesting. I got farted in the face a lot.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, while you're
Yeah.
waxing. I was
Yeah,
thinking the
like when I'm
strip club.
waxing. Yeah, because like, you're in there. I mean, you're in there.
Damn. So like they just like slide out without warning? Like
Yeah,
like
like
they didn't know it
one
was gonna happen?
yeah, like, it was one of those things where, you lift the leg and it just
Oh,
squeaks out,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Um,
It was at
a
the
lot.
door and you just kind of cracked it for him, you know?
Oh, yes, exactly, like, it was just on deck,
No
it
pun
just needed
intended.
that release,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, exactly, right? It was like, "Oh, thank God we can get out of here," right? Like,
That's hilarious.
"Go,
Oh,
go, go."
damn. So
Yeah.
I've seen a couple rant like my Instagram is
Mhm.
is the Wild West.
I'm sure it's all over the place, I can't imagine what your algorithm is.
And yeah.
I
But
can't yeah.
anyways,
Yeah.
I've seen two videos now where it's a woman like it's a side profile of
Mhm.
a waxing going on and there's a poof. I guess cuz there was
Oh, because of the baby powder.
yeah, did you
Mhm.
ever get the poof?
Oh my gosh. I got something worse, okay?
Oh.
So so basically you put the baby powder on like the lips and the butthole,
Yeah.
right? So because when you're doing the Brazilian, you're working on different types of skin, right? You have the thinner skins and the thicker skins. And so you use different waxes for
Really?
each one.
Wow, I
Yes.
didn't know that.
So we used for the more sensitive areas, we used the like a hardening wax that wasn't stripped.
Uh-huh.
So it would like basically turn into its own strip. And so you would just rip that,
Yeah.
right? So when you before you put the wax on, you would put the baby powder on there so the wax wouldn't take skin with it,
Okay. Yeah, so it wouldn't
right?
stick to where you
When
didn't
it's like
want it to stick.
hardening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was one time I was doing one and I had the lady flip over so I could do her butthole. And I don't know what she did for a living or if she just enjoyed it, but her butthole was very wide open.
Open.
That yeah. There you could see it was a black hole. Like you could see in there. Like there was no clenching muscles left if you get what I'm trying to say.
It just hung open.
It was open.
Wow.
She enjoyed something that I don't.
Huh.
So I was
Damn.
like, initially I was a little startled because I didn't realize that one, that could happen, and two, that's what it would end up looking like, which really sealed the deal on
Yeah, I always thought it went
that
back.
being a rule. Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Whew.
Not after. Yeah. So
Wow.
Right, like because with the other one, it is like a muscle, right? But
Yeah.
that's not, right? So
Okay.
it gets a little stretched
It gets
out
worn out.
after a little while.
Wow.
So
I'm
went to
learning
go-
so much tonight.
I am so glad because I don't want to be the only one to know these things. So
You shouldn't. You really shouldn't.
get it off my chest.
This is amazing.
So when I went to go put the powder on, you know how sometimes the powders are still chunked up in balls? Yeah. So
Did
a
you-
couple of
did you-
those just
nothing
went
but
in,
net?
and I go, "Ooh." And
From
without
downtown.
her- yeah, I was like, "Oh shit!" Right? And then internally, I was having like one of the most existential crises of my life
Holy
because
shit.
I didn't know, like, what's the best way to handle this? Like, do I say something to her? Do I not? Like,
If you
I'm sure
were
this
to
happened
ask
to her
me
before.
if I would say something or not, nope.
Mhm. I didn't. I went with no. We're just gonna keep doing
We're
what
gonna
we're
leave
doing.
that in there.
And when she poops and it's gray, she'll be fine. It's gonna be fine. It'll
Yeah.
be fine. Like she might not even notice, right? Like I don't even know. But in that moment, I just wanted to die because I was like, oh,
Were you like, oh, like
Yeah,
make
I
a
was
little
oh God, oh no, it's like in there, right? And I
need
was
some
just like,
long
oh,
tweezers to
yes, yeah. Like, do I need to get like the facial light down there and try to figure out like where
Probably
it
could have
ends?
crawled in and got it yourself.
You're not lying, right? Because I was just like, I mean, and like that experience to me was just like one just mind blown after another because I was just like, okay, first of all, I didn't know assholes would look like that. So
God,
ain't
yeah,
nothing
right?
going near my asshole because that's terrifying. No offense to anybody's asshole that
Like,
looks like that, but
She's got to take the greatest shits ever.
that's what I'm saying. Like, well, and that's the thing, right? Like, you almost want to be jealous, 'cause
Right.
There's
Like,
0% strain
and
at
she
all.
literally probably really doesn't even have to
No.
wipe if she didn't want to.
No, because
Like,
it's just
It just
goes
yeah, it
out.
doesn't rub
Yeah,
against
like,
anything.
Yeah, like you're not like squeezing it, wiping, straining, like it
Making
just comes
balloon
out.
animals and shit
Yeah,
out of it.
exactly. Like bloop bloop bloop, right? Like
Yeah.
it just comes out, right? So yeah, no, but I was just like, oh my god. So I learned a lot in that moment as well during that service, and I came out probably like I had seen a ghost
What?
because I was just like, I don't know what's like. God, please just don't let her call tomorrow and be like, I don't know what that girl did, but my shit's gray, right?
Oh.
Like I don't like, please, right? right? Because I didn't know at the
You're like
time.
timing like she has to have had a bowel
Yeah,
movement
like,
by now.
okay, like, we should be in the clear, right? Like, she would have called by now, right? Because remember,
24
youngins, like
hours, we're good.
yes, like, this was before Google, so I did not know if that was going to do something to her or cause her any issues, so I was just like, "Oh my god, I don't," right? And so
Turns out
I
she
actu
died.
right, I mean, who knows? I never heard from her again. Um, thank God. I think because I think she was a regular of another like another girl who was
Oh,
out,
okay, yeah.
and she just ended up in mine. So luckily, I didn't have to do that again, even though it probably wouldn't have been as bad because like once you see it, you can't unsee it anyway. So it's not like it's gonna get worse per se if you see it more times. I mean, like I said, it's a space black hole
I got a question.
every time.
The gay guy and
Mhm.
her, which
Mhm.
hole was more open?
Surprisingly hers.
I
Like I'm saying, like her shit
had a
was
feeling
like
you'd say that.
it was open. There was no clenching. There was no pucker, nothing.
That
Like
thing was
it
just
was
down there
just
breathing.
yes, like I almost thought a creature would come out of it. Like Nessie, is that where you went?
You
Like,
look
I
hard enough,
don't-
you see an eyeball
like,
glimmering at you.
is this why we don't have like is this where like Bigfoot goes, right? Like is this why we haven't seen him? Like I it's just I
This is why we haven't explored all of the ocean.
yes, exactly. Like again, Nessie, are you in there?
Yeah.
Right? Like so I was just like just floored. But I also, because I guess you could say I was like a bit on the sheltered side when I was growing up. I mean, I knew things, right? But I didn't but like back then, I mean, I'm sure you can kind of relate. If your friends didn't know about it either, y'all would just assume the same thing, right? If that makes sense. Like I thought all of us pretty much looked about the same.
I see. Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
especially females,
Yeah.
right? Like I just assumed
Right. Yeah, yeah.
like we all looked the same. And again, I am not gay. I'm poor little straight girl. So I saw all the shapes of the world and all the colors of the rainbow and all the things, and I was just like, oh my.
You ever
okay.
seen that big clay or something art piece where it's like squares of like 100 different vaginas?
I have not.
You
but now I
haven't?
want to.
I'll
Yeah.
have to find
That's
it and
not
send
in
it to
my
you.
algorithm,
Yeah, well,
Rain.
I worked hard for this algorithm, you know.
I know you did, and I hope for your sake you maintain it. That's all I'm
Hours
saying.
and hours of scrolling.
Days of just liking the most ridiculous off
Yeah.
the wall shit, just so you
But
continue getting off the wall shit.
but after I saw that
Mhm.
that it makes sense what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
They're all,
because
it's
I
like a
said,
snowflake. They're all different.
yeah, yeah, very. Some are scarier than others.
What?
But yeah, because like me, like the friends that I had seen, like we all pretty much looked the same, even though we're different size bodies,
Yeah.
right? Like even down there was pretty much the same. So that was also kind of a whirlwind as a young adult trying to just do life.
So when you say scary, like what's when it
The scariest one, and again, no offense to anybody that has this, I was just not
we're all
aware.
different.
I called it the bubblegum clit.
Whoa.
Do you know what kind of clit I'm talking about?
Like a
Like
big
it
one?
looks like a round chewed up piece of bubble gum. If you have not come across one,
Yeah.
sir, you are
I know it.
okay.
What?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Just trying to think of how to word it.
Yes. That I've always, and
I've never
always just-
actually seen one of those in person.
right. It's interesting. So when I had, and she was I guess she was like a younger woman. She was probably like in her late 20s, early 30s. But I went to go to wax her, and she actually was one of my ones that had upgraded from just a regular bikini wax to a Brazilian
Mm.
waxing. So she changed last minute, which was fine. And so I went in and she had one of those, but oh god, it's just going to be so fucking offensive, but it dangled. So I
Uh,
had to physically place it
whoa.
like and tuck it
Wha-
like on the other side so I could actually wax her without waxing her clit off.
Wow.
Yeah, like I literally had to
Was it
like
like a micro
place it.
penis
It almost, I mean maybe, but I mean it was like
or
a
bigger?
ball. I mean it was
A
like a
what?
ball. It looked like a ball.
Oh,
Like
I
it
thought you
was
said a
around like a
claw.
ball. No, but it was like it would flop. So like I literally had to like tuck it.
Is that just how she was?
Yeah, I think that should, yeah. And honestly, if I was a little bit braver and a little bit more tactful, I probably honestly like I really wanted to like ask her about it.
Yeah,
Not
like how do you deal
not
with this thing?
offensively,
Yeah.
right? But like just out of curiosity. Like
How many
you know what
times
I'm
have you been
saying?
called
Like
a
I'm like,
dude because you're
well, like it's
bulged?
like I'm genuinely curious. Like I'm not trying to
Yeah.
like make you feel bad or make you feel insecure or anything like that. But I'm like genuinely curious to, you know, is this something that you're born with? Is it kind of this? Did something happen? Like you just all these things run through your head because you're like, how does that happen? I don't know. And because I was just like a curious person. But I will say the best thing that came out of me waxing was I felt real fucking good about myself. Okay, like I felt okay. My ego shot through the roof. No,
How many of
I'm like,
those?
sweet.
How many of those did you run across?
Actually, a lot more than I thought I would.
Really?
Yeah, I'd probably come across one in maybe 25 to 30
No shit.
waxes. Like it was actually more now to that extreme.
Yeah.
No, but very similar to where it was like a sphere more and like weird chewed up looking texture.
I wish.
I don't know. It was weird.
I wish.
I'm like, I don't know. I hate
wish-
describing it like that, but there's like no other way.
I wish I could
to
find one
say
of
it.
these girls and just ask about it. You know, like
Yes, like I'm genuinely
like genuinely
honest.
interested in
curious,
how your day to day is.
Yes. 100%.
Man.
Absolutely. Because I was just like, oh man. But yeah, like I said, I felt real good about myself at the end of the day.
Oh,
I was
good.
like, okay, cool. I'm good. Like
Yeah.
I'm okay.
I like
you know?
mine.
Yeah, mine's good. Okay. Like it's pretty, it's not crazy, my asshole's not like 5 inches wide. We're good. We're good.
No
We're
dilated asshole.
Yes, exactly. Like I'm not gonna have baby powder balls down in my hole, bitch. Right? So
Baby powder balls.
so yeah, I felt really good about myself.
Damn. That's amazing.
Yeah, no, it was interesting. for
Yeah.
sure.
So like did you do a lot of men? Like did a lot of men start coming in for Brazilians?
Yes. Yes. I had, as far as regulars go, I'd say I probably had about 13, 14 regular men that came in. Now, 5 of them were from Richards.
Word got around.
Oh yeah, he was like, "Let me tell you about my girl, okay? This is where she's at. You go see her, right?" And they were fabulous, and I loved all of them. And but I had more men. I had, and the rest of my regulars were straight men. A few of them were married, right? Like it was just one of those things where it was easier for them to get waxed than to just keep shaving,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I get that.
And just because we all know shaving sucks. I mean, you do what you got to do, right? But you've got more likely like ingrown hair. You're splitting the hair, so it gives the illusion that it's growing back thicker, right? You're doing all these things, and then you're having to do it. And like for me personally, I had an issue with shaving because I've got very sensitive skin, so I can't shave every day,
Mm.
right? So like I also I'm like I totally get it. Um but so a lot of them were just, married men that just it was just easier to come in and get waxed, right?
Did
Than to maintain it themselves.
did you ever did you ever have one of those scary moments like your boss was worried about or whatever? Like did you ever or have
Not
any weird
not during a waxing.
other
The waxings were actually, like I said, that's part of the reason the waxings were like my favorite service because we're both just as vulnerable,
seems like
right?
it'd be hard to stay turned on when you're
Yes,
ripping.
exactly. Like I'm like, okay, now you push, you pull your ball sack down and I'm gonna rip the hairs out of it,
You made
right?
them
Like,
pull it down?
yeah, like they would hold
Okay.
themselves.
So
Like
you
I would help, but you would have to have enough tension, especially on like the ball sack,
okay.
right? Same with the
The
lips and stuff. So they
two-man
would have
job.
to hold tension
Yeah.
while, I also held it and waxed.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
but no, there was twice. One was during a facial and the other one was during a pedicure, actually. And the facial, um the pedicure, I handled that situation because I was much older and way more confident in myself at that point.
Yeah.
But the facial happened when I was fairly young still, and I was doing the facial and I had just gotten done with the massage part, and I was letting the steam go before we, take everything off and stuff. And I had noticed a little earlier in the service that he had gotten enlarged, right? Which initially you don't really think about that because in those kind of circumstances a lot of times it's not because of you and it's not because they want to, right?
It's
Like
just
when
natural, yeah.
like if you get into that relaxation kind of headspace and stuff, sometimes that's just the reaction. So I didn't think anything about it, but when I went to um cleanse his face to finish up with the moisturizer, I noticed he was moving his hand up and down.
Like his hand was down in his.
Yes. Yes. So he was touching himself.
Yeah.
And I said, I am sorry. I am going to leave the room. As soon as I leave the room, you are going to stand up, you are going to get dressed, and you are going to be escorted off this property
Wow. Oh shit.
and not allowed to return. Like that was one of the things,
Did
right,
it?
that I loved and respected about the salon as a whole. Like no
Yeah.
matter what department you were in, if you did not feel comfortable, they had your back 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
They did not care what the client said, how much money they spent, how much, bitching and complaining they did. At the end of the day, their employees' comfort was priority. It didn't fucking matter. Right. So I got up, I got out of the room, I told this guy Sean at the time. He wasn't necessarily like security, but he was like one of our admins,
Mhm.
right? And so I called Sean and I was like, "Hey, I have a situation. This man was touching himself during my service." I told him that, I left the room. I told him when I leave, he is to get dressed and he will be escorted. And he said, "I'll be right down." No questions, no nothing. There was never any, like, they never made you feel like you were wrong. Like, "Well, are you sure he was doing that?" Or like, "Are you,"
Yeah.
like, they
Yeah.
never really, like, they were just like, "Okay." And he was escorted and he was never allowed to come back.
Did the guy say anything when
Nope.
he
Nope.
just
He did call. I wanna say it was like a month, like a couple months later, and tried to book an appointment thinking that he wasn't, like, flagged or there was, like,
yeah.
no way, and it didn't go well for him.
If I
Um,
got escorted out of a place like that, I would never show my face there again.
Absolutely not. I
The
wouldn't even risk it.
balls and
Yeah,
audacity of that
like,
man
how
to
dare you?
book
Because he
another
was
appointment.
yeah, because he was trying to, and he wasn't even, and the shittier part is he wasn't trying to book an appointment with me, he was just trying to get an appointment with somebody else, like,
Yeah.
"Oh, like, maybe she wouldn't know,
He
right?
was
Or
just
maybe
trying to
they
get
don't
in.
know."
Yeah.
Yeah, and be able to do it, and I was just like, "What a piece of shit human being."
Damn.
Like, it's called porn, you dipshit.
Go
Like, it's
use it.
called your house,
Yeah.
right? Like, you do you, boo, at your house, but how dare you come into establishment, a professional establishment, and put anybody in that kind of predicament, because there was ooh, P's gonna
Oh
kick that
shit.
thunder's butt. Pee, hush.
You better
It's
get ready
try
for 9
I know
times
it's
that barking.
I know. Well, it's been trying to storm like all day, but it hasn't started yet. But yeah, no, so, like, after I'd left the salon, when I was, like, in a in between time, I managed a Massage Envy location,
Mm.
and I had the same policy. Like, if at any point you feel uncomfortable, you just leave, it'll be handled, right? And I carried that that with me, because as a young woman in in any kind of professional setting, to know that you had backup
Yeah.
meant
I mean,
everything.
yeah, that gives you so much more confidence in
Yeah.
your safety.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they're not gonna look at me like, "Oh, you just cost us money," or, "Oh, you're da 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 da." Like, it was just one of those things where it's like, zero tolerance, do
Right.
not care, right? Because not only is it bad for us as the service provider, but it's potentially bad for the business as well, right? Like,
100%.
there could be so many legal issues, right, for the business as well. So it's like, there's no need to open up that door,
Right.
right? Like,
Yeah, totally
no
agree.
need. But it did feel nice to know that we weren't gonna be questioned, or have like, sitting there questioning ourselves, right? Like, "Okay, well, did I see him doing it? Or, like, was he
Mhm.
really doing that? Or did I think he was, because the room's kinda dark," right? Like, y it was none of that. I was like, "Nope, I feel uncomfortable. Okay, done." And it was awesome.
And like as a human, we sense uncomfort for a reason. It's not,
Yes.
I mean, like, yeah, occasionally or sometimes, people just sense uncomfort all the time, but
Yes.
like
Yes.
your average, like when you're uncomfortable, it's for a reason.
Yes, and it is such a and we all know that feeling, right? It's such a visceral feeling,
Mhm.
with the
It's from the
knots and the
depths of
tingling, and
yeah,
it's just your heightened, like, get out, right? Like,
exactly.
that's just your body's way of being like, "You gots to go, like, now," right? So it was very nice, but yeah, I carried that as well, because, when I sold life insurance, and, then I started working for an industrial company, which is, like, more man, focus of a industry, and things like that, but I always kinda carried that confidence of, like, "No, I know when something's not right,"
Mhm.
right? Like, and I'm not gonna put up with it. So, it was good, it was good, but yeah, it was a very interesting, it was an interesting decade of my life.
So you did that
Um,
for 10 years?
I did, I worked there for 10 years.
Wow.
Yep, I did. I
That's a
did, and
lot of vaginas.
it was so much vagina and dick, man.
Holy
I
shit.
should I wish, if I knew before how much I would be in everybody's genital area, I probably just would have gone into porn, because they paid more.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm gonna be, like, friggin', neck deep into bitches' vaginas and asses and shit,
Yeah.
like, fuck, I might as well just done porn, right?
Just dive on in.
Just go full hog, right?
Full
Like, just
hog.
do
Yeah,
it.
hell yeah.
Just do it, right? But no, it was cool, and really, like, I didn't expect to stay there that long, because, like I said, initially, I just thought it was a job for a year until I graduated and stuff like that, and I was very lucky to be in a situation to where not only could I have a good job and learn, a lot, not just as far as the services go, but a lot in business and in professionalism and all of those things. It and then I could make a career out of it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, and it was like, this is awesome. And when I left, I left because um my son was getting a little older, and mad respect to all of the hairdressers and estheticians out there, because that schedule is not forgiving when it comes to anything outside of that building, right? Like, you're not going to get holidays off because those are busy times, right? You're not going to have, you have to work weekends because, again, business, it's busy times. Like,
I
so
never would have thought about that. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, so I was working New Year's Eves. I was working, we couldn't take off any time during like the 1st of March and the 1st of June because of proms and graduation, right? And it was just it's a great lifestyle until your life changes,
Right. Oh, yeah.
right? And there's plenty of people who were able to like make that work to where they had their family and that that career, but I was just, it to me, as much as I loved it, it just wasn't worth it to me to try to
Mm-hmm.
balance when I could just go off and, find the next thing,
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was like the only reason. Like, I didn't really have um any kind of issues or anything like that, but it was just like, okay, like, my son's getting a little older. We're birthday partying, we're school stuff, right? Like, all the
Life
extra
changes.
things, yeah,
The way you
that
put
come
that was so
along,
perfect. Like,
and it just was like, "Okay, this isn't gonna work
it's the type of
anymore for
career,
me."
it's great
Mhm.
until life changes.
Yeah, and then it's
I
not.
love that. Like, I think that
Mhm.
applies to everything. Like,
Yep.
this is good for my life
Mhm.
until my life changes.
Yeah,
I
and
like that.
that's and I and I like I said, I've always been super grateful for that opportunity, because, like, I see, like, my brother and my cousins and even my sons, right? Like, they always start with the traditional first jobs, the fast food and,
Mm-hmm.
the whatever, and I'm just like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that was
didn't
a hell of
have
a first
to."
job.
Yeah, I didn't have to work that.
One
I
hell of
was
a
in a
first job.
I was in a ti I mean, they flew us to New York, we flew to Miami, we went to Vegas, we went to shows,
Damn.
like, we did everything. Like, I mean, it was one of those things where we were so, well respected within the industry that we were recognized, right? Like, I think the first work trip I went on with them was down to Miami, and we were down there for educations, and they were introducing new facials,
Mm.
right? And we were down there, and the me and one of my coworkers were sitting talking during a break, and these women came up and they were like, I'm so sorry. They were like, "Do you work at, blank salon?" And we were like, "Oh yeah, yeah." Like, that's where we're from. We're in the spa department. And they were like, "Oh my gosh, we we adore, your salon and your business model, and we think it's amazing. And like, how do y'all feel? Like, do you?" And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, you can't really beat it. You're working and learning at the same time,
Mm.
so, you're not having to sacrifice one over the other, right? And you're around amazing people most of the time. But a lot, sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, having, 90 fucking women in one building
Shit.
does end up causing problems. I saw many of brawls in the back room, in the parking lot,
All those
hair.
periods line up.
So yeah, oh yeah, we synced right the fuck up. We synced right the fuck up.
Everybody's pissed off at the same time of the
Yeah, and
month.
everybody fucking hates everybody, and like, "You're fucking skinnier than me, go to hell," and, and it's just like, "I saw you, puking your fucking guts out at that one bar last weekend, so you go to hell," and it was a mess. And then, of course, like, you're working so closely together, and we all end up also hanging out outside of work together, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like, you're constantly always, like, kind of in with them and partying with them and working with them and traveling with them. And I mean, it's hard not to kind of get into that kind of groove, because it's just like, well, these are the only people I see, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so these are my only friends because who the hell has time or the energy to meet anybody else, after the
Right.
hours that we work, right? And in heels on cement floors for
Mm,
12, 13 hours. And,
sounds awful.
just it was not ideal. No, it was not. But, it made you strong. That's for sure.
Yeah, for
And the other
sure.
thing, yeah, the other thing that I learned was the most successful hairdressers were straight men.
Huh.
Mhm. Straight men.
Wow.
They made bank,
That is, I don't even
especially with
understand.
the little old biddies.
Oh, yeah, I bet so. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. One of the male hairdressers there, I would just be, like, in awe because they would just these women, like, gosh, you would think they were at damn, Magic Mike show in fucking Las
Mm.
Vegas. They were throwing those ones out so fast. Like, goddamn. Um, like, Jesus. But they did really good, and I remember, like, because when I would pay with my tips,
Hmm.
there were so many times that everybody just assumed I was a stripper because it was always like ones, right? It
Yeah.
was just ones. Like I just had like a big old wad of ones, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, that's like 12. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they were like, oh, where do you work at? Wink, wink, and I'm like, oh my god, puke now. Like just let me die. But no, it was a ride, that's for sure. I
That's awesome.
I I loved it. I hated it. I learned. All the things that you do in somewhere that long. But yeah, it was interesting.
Well, hell
Very
yeah.
interesting.
This
Oh,
is.
and that was the other thing too, was like our salon, our owners encouraged tattoos, colored hair,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
We all when you started, you only so when you first started working, you could only wear all black, no color. It was all
Mm,
black. And then as you were there for so many years, you could start adding colors into the wardrobe,
yeah.
right? Like I think when you hit like 3 years, you could add like white, red, pink, things like that.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, it was super cool. So not only did, you kind of get that extra boost because you're
Yeah.
there and kind of add stuff. But I loved the older ladies. I had this one little lady, and she was the sweetest thing. And her name was Annie, and her daughter had got her a manicure, a pedicure, and a facial for it was probably Mother's Day. I'm thinking birthday or Mother's Day, but it was probably around Mother's Day. So I was taking her back, and I was, we were I did her facial, and we came out, and I was doing her nails. And when I was leaving, she goes, "Can I tell you something?" And I was like, "Well, of course, Miss Annie, you can tell me anything, girl. Like, I'm your technician. Like, nothing goes past me." And she was like, honestly, she's like, "I was standing outside for 10 minutes because I was so scared to come in here because I thought y'all were so mean." Because we were all wearing, like, black with, like, blue hair and spikes and tats, all this, so she thought we were gonna be mean,
It's a
and so
rough side of
she was
town.
like, "I was so scared to come in here because I thought y'all were gonna be mean." She's like, "But all of y'all are just so nice," and I was like, "Well, Miss Annie, we're nice, like, come on, girl," like, but it was so funny to hear, that she was just terrified of us, like,
It's a
because she
generational
just
thing.
yeah, like, because like, we're wearing it's of course the early 2000s, right? So we're still rocking the Hot Topic,
Yeah. Yeah.
collars and the chains and the belts and the stuff, and yeah, it was fun. It was a fun time, but yeah, there was a lot of people that actually said that within the community, and then there were so many rumors that were going around about how, when we closed, we'd have just one big orgy with everybody, that, all day, every day, we were all, like, passing each other, like, all these different drugs, and I was
Oh
like,
my
"Man, where the hell
God.
were those at? I didn't get no drugs. What
Yeah.
the fuck?
That
Like,
is.
that's messed up. Like, come on, guys." But, yeah, there was so many wild stories that went along because, again, like, I remember because I worked when they had the new building when I was little, and we would pass their old building. I grew up thinking it was a strip club. I thought it was a strip club because it was
Yeah.
this hot, like, hot neon pink building painted the brightest pink you could possibly find. And then there were pictures of women on the outside.
Mm.
And I always thought, I'm like, oh, there's the strip club, you know? And then when they got so big and they had to build the new location, one of the owners, he wanted the brick painted pink.
Mm.
And the county said that he couldn't, like he wasn't allowed. So he picked the pinkest brick he could find, and that's what they used. It was
Genius.
great. It was great, but I was like, "Oh, it's not a strip club," right? Like, oh, but I thought it was a strip club like my whole life. But
Wow.
yeah, no, it was a good time. You know, I highly recommend. You know, any job you have,
Yeah.
just try to make the best of it and learn as much as you freaking can.
Well, for a first job, that's
It
amazing.
was, oh yeah, and the parties. Oh,
That's a wild ride.
I took my sister and my brother-in-law to one of their parties one time. That was a mistake. I never did that again. My brother-in-law was like pinching butts. Everybody was so drunk. And then my sister kept telling me that all the lesbians keep checking me out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, they're lesbians. And she's like, well, that's what they do.
That's what
They're
they
looking at
do.
you because they're putting you next in line. And I'm like, you're insane. Like,
Next
you're
in
insane.
line.
And I am never bringing you back to one of these ever again. Like,
That's
I'm
funny.
never going to do that again. It was so embarrassing. But yeah, it was definitely a life-changing event.
Sounds like it. Sounds
Yeah.
like a life, like a growing, like
Yes.
portion of your life.
Yes, I grew up a lot.
I
I learned a
bet.
lot about that world, right? I came out of my upper middle class big old house, and I was like, oh, every vagina is different.
Look at all these different vaginas.
Buttholes stretch out over time. People are gonna fart in your face, and you're gonna have to act like you don't want to barf onto their vagina. Like, I think that was the worst part. When
The
they
Grand
farted.
Canyon started out as a butthole.
It really did. And then it was like, and then it made that pivotal choice in its life and was like, you know what? I'll try it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
And
let's
then
see.
it was just,
Let's just see.
it just went crazy.
what
from
happens.
there, right. It
What
just
could
went
go
crazy.
wrong?
I wanted so badly to ask if she was a porn star, like if she did video, like movies. Cause I was like, surely she is not doing it that much with that type of girth.
She was probably born
For
that
her to
way, and
be
you would have
this
felt really bad
young.
about yourself, or felt really horrible.
God.
Born with a
Yeah,
loose
maybe.
asshole.
Yeah, and I it was so hard not to just like interrogate all these different
Yeah.
people. Like, why does it look like that?
Yeah.
Like, how do you deal with this? Or
How
how
do
does
you
that
maintain
work if
that?
it looks like this? Yeah, like, hey, since I just lost some baby powder balls into your asshole, can I ask, does that warrant a question? Because I just have a couple, right? Like, if it's going too far, please let me know, right? Like, if it's too much, if I crossed the line, right, I'll back up. But
I
I
love
just want
that.
to, I'm going to try. I'm going to take my shot
That's awesome.
because I feel like we're closer now.
Yeah.
Right?
That,
Like, I
well,
feel
yeah.
like,
You lose
know,
your
I
baby
feel-
powder balls in her asshole. That's
look,
a connection.
Like we're soulmates for life at
Yeah.
this point. Like, it's almost like I can sense her somewhere on the planet, right? Like,
You left
I
a little
can
deposit.
I can feel her still. Like,
Yeah.
she still haunts my dreams. Yeah, it was.
Probably still
was-
haunt her farts.
I probably do.
Yeah.
I'm sure that every time she got a wax after that, all she could think of was, I wonder what that little girl's doing who I farted in her face. Like,
Yeah.
and it wasn't like a, a toot of just air. It was like a rank ass something died
God
in
almighty.
there, like one of those. And like I said, I was just like straight face, don't throw up, don't throw up, don't throw up. Because I also don't want to make her feel bad because I'm like, she's already naked. She's already sprawled out on this bed. A stranger's all up in her junk.
Did
And so I'm
you
just like, be professional, don't throw up, don't throw up.
did you
and
get
it
a lot
lingered.
of stinky ones? Like
No, most of them, unless they were on their period, and I hated
Oh,
waxing. I hated waxing them when they were on their period,
why
not
would you go
because
get
of
waxed if you're on your period?
I never understood that, like, in my mind, because not only would, like, me personally, like, I would feel like I would already feel uncomfortable, so there would be like, "No way, like, no way," right? But on top of that, while you're menstruating, your skin is 20,000 times more sensitive, so it is a lot more painful when to get waxed. So it's like, why would you okay, it already hurts, right? I did a Brazilian one time. Never again. Now, after results were fucking fantastic. Oh
Yeah.
my god. I was like a little kid in a candy store. I'm like, "Oh my god, it's like velvet down there." Right? But during it, no, it was like the most horrible, horrific pain, and I actually was most afraid of the butt
Yeah.
part of things. I didn't even feel it. I was like, "Oh,
Oh.
oh, it's done already? Okay, okay." Like, I was like, "Oh my god, this is gonna hurt so bad, and somebody's in my asshole." Like, you know, because we would model for each other too, right? Like, if we couldn't find anybody to practice on or whatever, like we would model for each other. And I remember one of my coworkers, we were mortal enemies when she first started, and somehow we made our manager cry, and we were told that that was the first time she had cried in the 35 years she worked there. And then we felt really bad about it, right? We were like, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I didn't even know she could cry. And I've known her my whole life, right? Like, oh my, like, no, right? So after that, we kind of started to bond a little bit. And she also thought I dated black guys. So she was trying to hook me up. And then I was like, no, I was like, I haven't. And she was like, for real? Like, I would have thought so. And I'm just like, what about me, little white girl, says says that? And I was like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like they are attractive, but I've just never dated one. And she was like, oh, but we I she was my model once, and she was this like tough New Yorker. She was like all this thing, and she was the biggest fucking baby. She kneed me in the groin 500 fucking times. I
Oh
had a
my
damn
god.
bruise down there, and I was just like, I am never waxing you again. And she was like, but you're the best one. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Okay. I couldn't sit down comfortably for 3 weeks.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
My shit was bruised. It was red. It was because every time I would go to like pull, she would jerk up.
Yeah.
And because of how I had to be in there, right? I just happened to be straddling her knee for like most of it, right? So it was just like boom, right in the boom. And I was just like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Cause then she was like, wax my armpits. And I was like, no, no, those hurt worse. Oh, no, I'll die first before I wax your armpits, right? Because everybody said like the armpit was like that was the most painful spot were the
I believe it.
armpits. Yeah. Yeah, the armpits were bad. I also I also didn't like my legs, like the shins. The
Mhm.
shins hurt. The shins hurt too. But yeah, I was just like, "Oh my gosh." But I've been waxing my own bikini since I was 18. So I don't really feel it much anymore. So now looking back, I'm like, "Man, I should have kept up with those Brazilians because I wouldn't even feel it now."
Yeah, it'd be nothing.
Like if I knew that the
Yeah.
pain threshold would have been like would lower itself over time, I would have totally stuck with the Brazilians. But yeah, because I'm just like boom, boom, and everybody's like, how can you wax yourself? And I'm like, well, I mean, I put it on and I rip it off. Like,
Wax
it's
on,
not
wax
that,
off.
yeah, like that, like how you wax anybody. But they're like, isn't it painful? I'm like, honestly, it's less painful for me to do it to myself than for somebody else to do it. Because you lack that anticipation, like when you're gonna pull,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
you're not like
True.
tensing up to like in the
Yeah, that makes
anticipation
sense.
of them
Yeah.
pulling it. So it's like I know I'm gonna pull it. I did have I did get some I did get some of the hard wax um in somebody's nostril one time. like up in the nostril, like pretty not like all the way up into like their brain or nothing, but like pretty far up there where I had to take tweezers and
Oh,
rip it out of their nose.
I've seen the ones where they have the Q-tips and they yank them.
Yeah.
That looks
Oh, that
awful.
I'm like, nope. I cry if I sneeze funny and one of those hairs
Yeah.
goes to the side. I'm like,
Yeah.
let alone it getting ripped out, right? Because I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to just grab, the wax as much as I can,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because once you kind of get up in there, there's hair everywhere, right? So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're gonna have any hair up there when I'm done with you, so just be careful. And I ripped it, and it was just like
Mm.
I hurt, like I felt
Oh my
it.
God.
It was awful, so bad because like a lot of men, right, would want us to do like their
Oh yeah.
nose, like underneath the nose, and then the ears. I also that was fun little
Yeah.
thing. Would wax the ears. And I'm like, wow, again, if somebody came to me and was like, in your future, you will be waxing ears and nose hairs, I
Would
would have
never
been
believe it.
like, did I accidentally take acid? Like, did somebody like roofie me or
Yeah.
something? This isn't real, right? Like, what the fuck is this? But yeah, it was a fun time. I'm glad I was able to have the experience.
Well, it sounds like it was one hell of a ride.
It was.
I'm very happy that I got to learn all the new things tonight.
Yes, I am glad I was able to educate you, and now you too know
Yeah.
all about it.
Now we all know about waxing.
Yep. We should take a poll. If you've had a Brazilian, which position do you prefer when they do your asshole? Do you prefer to spread your own cheeks? Do you prefer the doggy style? Because different salons put you in different positions.
Wow.
I personally liked just squeezing my own cheeks, like separating my own cheeks and like holding them.
Yeah.
Because being in like on all fours made me feel real fucked up.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, and people like somebody's behind you and you're on all fours.
Oh yeah.
I didn't love that at all. So I'm like, I'll spread them, thanks.
I get scared when I drop the soap in my own shower.
No shit. Like, all right.